If you're planning to launch a new brand in 2025, this might be the most important video you watch. Guess why? Because most brands think that they need like some large influencer budget to make an impact with their launch, but that's just not true anymore. Along with your ad campaigns and so on, having influencers as part of your launch strategy is critical. I take the example, one of the best examples is Graza, the olive oil brand. They launched with influencers purely and sold out within the first week. Also hit like $500,000 in revenue within first 3 months of launch, something like that. We've written a detailed breakdown of their strategy on our blog. I'll link somewhere here. Or let's take a more relatable example. Let's take one of our customers, James. He had this brand. He launched it with influencers. I'm going to share the exact strategy he used, but he literally wrote a long Twitter thread about it about a year ago. He made like $22,000 on day one of launch. No paid media spend. Literally only influencer gifting and coordination for launch, and using the strategy that I'm going to share in this video. So I'm going to share 5 steps in this video. Again, I have frameworks for everything. This is a 5-step framework that you can use to create buzz around your brand during the time of launch. And if you're launching a new product in 2025, this is the most important video that you will watch, because you will now figure out a way at the end of this 10-minute video exactly how I launch without spending on paid media. Let's dive in. Okay, so before we dive into the exact framework that you should use, let me tell you what your goal should be. Your goal should be to build a tight-knit community. Keyword, focus on tight-knit, of 50 people who are true fans of your brand, and work with them every single week up until launch to coordinate posts during launch day. Build a community of 50 people or 50 influencers who are true fans of your brand, who are really aligned, and work with them throughout the period up until your launch, and even slightly above that, to coordinate a launch attack. Launch on the same day. Everybody posts on the same day. Make them post on the same launch day. That is the goal. How do we achieve this goal? Step number 1, choose the right people. The most critical step here is finding the right people to launch with. If you launch with the wrong people, you're going to build a bad brand association. If you make a really bad choice with the influencers, they're not going to make any sales for you. The launch is going to be meh. If you don't want to make that happen, make sure that you're finding the right partners for your brand, right? So a lot of the times what happens, especially if you're new to e-commerce and you just want to make a splash with your brand, you think that you're just going to get that influencer with like 1 million followers and they're going to post about you and everything's going to be okay. Not true. Never happens. Influencers themselves with millions of followers have launched brands and they fail. What you really need to look for is content fit. You want to make it as easy as possible for the influencers to post about you, right? So what's the most obvious way? Who is posting content that already could have your product in it? If you're a supplement company, find influencers who post about supplements, who are fitness influencers, who are health influencers, recipe influencers, and so on and so forth. Second, engagement rate and engagement quality. Again, I'll break this down into the number and the quality. The number obviously matters because you want their followers to engage with them. Make sure you're targeting at least a healthy 2 to 3% engagement rate. Slightly on the higher end because you can relax this criteria later on, but for launch, target 2 to 3%, if not 5% engagement rate. What that means is they have a really engaged audience who wants to buy. Also, look at the quality of engagement. Go to their actual profiles. Look at the comments. Are the comments buying sentiment comments like, I love this, I want this, where was this all my life, etc., etc.? Or are the comments something like, hey, you look so pretty? Are the comments about the product or about the influencer using the product, or are the comments about something else altogether? Make sure that the engagement quality is there. Again, this is a really high level of vetting, but you have to do this when you're launching with your first group of 50 people. You have to go to this deep level and figure all of this shit out. From there, third thing, brand values. Do they resonate with your mission? Everything can be in place. They may be a fitness creator who posts about supplements, who has a very high engagement rate, but you have a vegan brand and they constantly endorse animal products, right? Maybe you don't want to work with them. Nothing wrong with animal products, nothing wrong with being a vegan, but there's just lack of mission alignment, right? So make sure, especially in the early days, to find influencers that are super aligned with your mission so that you get them to post. Again, as an early stage brand, all you have is really the hope for a better future. Why do we start brands, right? We are starting brands because we want to see the world in a better place than what it was before. We want to make the world healthy. We want to make the world prettier. We want to make the world better in some form, whatever minor way that we can, right? So find influencers that care about the same things that you care about and work with them. Step number 4 of this whole playbook is the engagement that you have with your influencers, which leads to the launch. So at this point, found the right partners, you've reached out to them with the right message, you've sent them a free product. Now what? Your product doesn't launch for 2 more months. Like, what are you going to do up until then? Keep them engaged. Add them to some sort of a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group, preferably WhatsApp or iMessage or some sort of like group there, because most people don't log into Facebook anymore. So make sure it's like a group on a platform that they actually care about. about, or maybe your audience is on Facebook, in which case you could have a Facebook group. Have some sort of a launch group with these vetted influencers. Encourage people to share their journeys. So for example, one of our brands is a fitness brand, like a vegan supplements brand, and they haven't launched yet, but they will soon. And they consistently keep adding influencers into that group and encourage everybody to share an introduction about themselves and how they went into this vegan fitness journey. And everybody has unique stories and people relate to each other and they're sparking conversations and they're all bonding over the shared mission of being a vegan athlete, right? That's what matters. The product is a secondary concept. Make sure your product takes a back seat, especially during launch, and make sure the mission is front and center, especially in this group. Encourage conversation, encourage Q&A, share quotes, share testimonials, share behind the scene videos from your factory or from your mom's basement, whatever it is. Make sure you're treating this as if it is a friend group. Make sure you're keeping them informed and you're coordinating and building up towards this launch date. Once the launch date arrives, week before launch is critical. Cut out everything else and you focus everyone solely on launch. At this point, you're probably going to have maybe 30 or 50 people in that group. Give everybody a call. Come on. You have to give them a call. As a founder or as a marketer on the team, give everyone a call. Tell them, hey, we're launching. You need another product. Feel free to send it to them so everything is ready. Make sure you ask them, hey, we're launching on this date. Can you please keep your content ready at least 2 days in advance? Have that ready to go. Coordinate a launch. If you have 50 creators onboarded, make sure at least 20 or 30 of them go live on the day of launch. Again, the goal, if you remember, go back to the beginning of this video. What did I say? You want to build a group of tight-knit group of 50 people who post on the day of launch. That is the goal. The reason why you want everybody to post on the same day is because it creates a halo effect. What it does is suddenly if every single vegan athlete influencer is starting to post about this new brand, you look like, whoa, like this new brand just freaking popped out of nowhere. Everyone's posting about them. I see their posts all the time. I want to buy. And if you have a compelling offer for your early buyers as well, you're going to blow up. It's just going to happen. So make sure you launch and make sure you coordinate so everybody actually posts on the day of launch. At this point, the launch is done and we're only 4 steps in. So you'll be wondering, what's the 5th step? Why is there a 5th step necessary if we've launched? Well, does not end at the launch. Success is not just about day 1 sales or week 1 sales. Step number 5 is measure if it worked and reassess strategy and do it again. Right? As a new brand, you can launch 3 months later and nobody would complain. Like nobody's gonna complain. You could do another launch. You could do a different flavor launch. You could do a different packaging launch. You could do a different website launch. Nobody would bat an eye. So first, measure how did it do. If it did well, make sure you're repeating the same playbook. Try to improve on it. If it didn't do well, figure out where the bottleneck is. Again, I have made a video on how to diagnose your influencer program. Please go watch that video. Apply that principles to your launch. Where did it go wrong? Did influencers not accept, in which you have a different problem? Did influencers accept but not end up posting, in which we have a different problem? Did influencers accept the product but did not join your WhatsApp group? Maybe there's a different problem. You need to figure out where the bottleneck is, where there was drop off, and work to fix that so that you do your next launch in a much effective way. And the goal for the launch is not also just to get the content and the sales. The goal is also to build the long term of your influencer program. Make sure you build that customer trust. Make sure that people start following you. Make sure other influencers hear about you, so you recruit more people into your community. Don't let them go after your launch is done. Okay, bye, I'm done with you. Don't do that. They're on a journey with you. Your brand has just started. Keep them posted. Keep giving them affiliate commissions. Keep sending them free products if they're making sales for you. And again, just keep engaging with them proactively, consistently, even after launch. Even if your program scales to 500 influencers, treat this early bird community with care, with love, as if they were a friend before you launched. Treat them like that and they will keep posting about you and you will have a very good influencer community. So quickly to recap, the goal with your launch should be get 50 people to post on launch day, as many as possible. Again, it's never perfect, right? Not all 50 are ever going to post about you on launch day or in launch week, but get at least 20 or 30 of them and you have similar effects, right? Usually 30 is a very good number. Make sure your strategy follows everything that I said in this video. Make sure you're coordinating everything for launch and make sure you're measuring how your launch did and adapting from there. Feel free to do another launch in a couple of months. People are actually going to like and appreciate that you did that. So if you implement these strategies and you see results, let me know. I'm accessible on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or leave a comment below. Or if you need a platform that manager, how do I coordinate 50 influencers, sending products, writing emails, finding the right influencers with the best fit to my brand, with the right mission alignment, with the right engagement rate? If you need to fix all these problems, I built SARAL for that reason. So, go hop on a call with my team. They'll show you around, see if it's useful for your use case. And if it is, then hop on a free trial and we'll take it from there. Until then, till you do that. I hope this video was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.